Jai Hind to all. I am here to take up the first lecture on Unit 3, that is Data Analytics as the name of the subject, and KCA 051 is the code. And this is the third unit that is talking about data streaming. So, there are various challenges related to mining data stream, and the topics that I have covered is introduction to stream concepts, what are the stream data model, what are the challenges, what is the difference between streaming data and batch processing that we had earlier. So, altogether a data handling scenario has changed because of the streaming data that we are going to talk about. And what is streaming data? Streaming data is basically fast flowing data that we are getting through various sources, maybe internet, maybe some sensors, which are giving us big data, that is giving us huge data, that is high velocity, volume, variety of data that we want to talk about. So, the streaming data is something like this, that we can visualize it as something like data stream, like a stream of water coming in, and that has to be analyzed using certain knowledge base, and the result has to be given. So, the whole challenge is handling this broad variety of data and fast flowing data, and the data is available for us with us for analysis for a very short span of time. Within that time, within that real time, we have to analyze that data and give a useful result. That is the challenge that we are going to face when we are handling streaming data. So, this is something like there is a similar diagram trying to explain there is variety, variety of data coming in, high velocity of data coming in, and they may vary in their type, size, they may vary in the they can be structured, unstructured or semi structured data that is coming in. They can vary in their velocity, variety, volume, everything, and that has to be handled within that small span of time. So, this can be called a time frame or a window, that within this window this data has to be analyzed for certain useful business purpose. So, what is streaming data? It refers to the data that is continuously generated. The key point is continuously generated with high volume and high velocity, usually in high volume and high velocity. Streaming data source should typically consist of stream of logs that record events as they happen, such as user clicking on a link in a web page or a sensor reporting the current temperature. So, these are various sources of fast flowing data, streaming data, the click of the users web pages, the sensors. There can be many other IoT sensors or IoT based devices giving us data every second, every microsecond, changing in their volume, velocity, variety. Server and security logs, these are various common example or sources of streaming data. IoT sensors, server, security logs, real time advertisements, click stream data from apps and websites. So, whole challenge is when we want to handle that huge amount of data that is in different velocity, volume, and finally giving an output or giving an result. So, the challenge of streaming data arrives in stream as if it is not and if it is not processed immediately or stored, then it is lost forever. The key point, if it is, since we are not storing it, we cannot store that huge stream of data, high volume of data, velocity of data. So, we need to instantly process it for certain analysis. So, that if we do not do it immediately, since we are not storing it, we are losing it forever. So, moreover, we shall assume that the data arrives so rapidly that it is not feasible to store in all active storage. Yeah, we know that it is not possible to store all those big data in certain storage and then interact with it at the time we choose to. Since we do not have this option, we do not have the storage facility, we cannot store it, we cannot choose to analyze it sometime later, we have to do it all online, at that moment itself. The stream is defined as a possible unbounded sequence of data, unbounded because we do not know where the what type of data is coming in, what is the beginning and the ending point of the data that is coming in, that needs to be analyzed. So, unbounded sequence of data, item or records, they may or may not be related to each other or correlated to each other. That is another key point. We do not know anything about the beginning and the end point of the data, and the data may not be related. So, we cannot derive or get something for the upcoming data, know something about the upcoming data. Each data is generally time stamped and in some case geotagged. That is the only thing we can do with it, that is we can only time stamp at which moment it has come in, and it can only be geotagged. Only two things that we can do with those streaming data, and we need to analyze based on that. So, here this slide tries to give you a comparison of traditional data processing and stream processing. The key point over here being the data repository. This is the key point of difference. Traditional processing involves data repository wherein we store data, and as and when we require certain analysis, then we query, we send query requests and then response from the database. So, we are basically working on a historical fact in this. So, basically we are storing the data and then analyzing it. So, that makes our life easier, that we have enough space, storage space and enough analysis time to analyze it. On the contrary, the streaming process involves real time analytics, means we do not store it. So, we have the challenge of storing it and analyzing it at that moment itself. So, it is a historical fact finding, it is a current fact finding, find and analyze information stored on disk, analyze data in motion before it is stored. Actually, it is not stored because it cannot be stored. Huge amount of data cannot, a part of it can be stored in some form or some indexed form, it can be stored, but not whole of the data. It is a batch paradigm, it is a working on pull model, it is a low latency paradigm, we are working on push model. It is basically query driven, submits queries to static data. This is data driven, brings data to the analytics. So, under the batch processing model, this is continuing the same content, that how do we differ traditional processing to stream processing. Under the batch processing model, a set of data is collected over time and then fed into an analytics system. In other words, you collect a batch of information and then send it for processing. So, there is a variation in time, we can store at some time and then later we can go for analysis. But with the streaming data, this is a challenge, we cannot do this for this with the streaming data. Under the streaming model, data is fed into analytics tool piece by piece and the processing is done in real time. That is the key point, real time analytics is there. So, what are the examples of batch processing? Payroll system, billing, orders from customers. These are very traditional batch processing method, use cases, and the use cases for stream processing can be fraud detection, that has to be done on online stream, online data, that has to be done on real data, social media sentiment analysis, that has to be done on that instance of time, log monitoring and analyzing customer behavior. These are various use cases for streaming data. The streaming data architecture. So, we have seen that what are the challenges that we have is high volume velocity of data, then we cannot store it and we need to process it at that moment itself. We cannot postpone the analysis, we have to do it on that part of the data, which once the data is lost, we have lost that part of the data. So, these are the challenges. For that we have a full architecture, streaming data architecture to handle all these challenges. We will see in the coming slides how these, there are various phases of storage, then analysis, and then how do we go about visualization, various phases that involves in handling this streaming data to get a meaningful result basically. The streaming data architecture is an information technology framework that puts the focus on processing data in motion and treats extracts information low. ETL, batch processing, as just one more event in a continuous stream of event. So, we are extracting, transforming and loading, we are doing that. ETL was there earlier also, handling of streaming data. So, what are the basically, let us see how do we handle this big data and what is the storage of and usage of big data and processing. So, the best way is to a solution is to split the problem. No doubt we have to split the problem and find the solution, and that is why we are having a layered architecture. Big data solution can be well understood using a layered architecture, because for every purpose, we are having different layers. The layered architecture is divided into different layers where each layer performs a particular function. Architecture helps in designing the data pipeline with the various requirements of the either batch processing system or stream processing system. When we talk about big data, we more often talk about stream processing system that may include batch processing. As we will see further, there are two main architecture that is in streaming, Kappa model and Lambda model, that we will see that one of them is supporting both batch processing and stream processing, and the other is supporting only stream processing. So, this architecture consists of 6 layers which ensures the secure flow of data. What is this architecture? Architecture for data processing. What type of data? Streaming data. So, we have various sources of data, that is then we have data ingestion layer, collection layer, then after ingestion and collection we store it in the desired format, and the desired format means pre-processing, lot of pre-processing, lot of cleaning of data is done over here before storing it. Then we go for processing, that involves various various machine learning algorithms, classifications, clustering, whatever processing, prediction we want to do with that. Then the query, and finally the data visualization. These are the major layers of the architecture that we want to talk about to handle data streaming. So, this is the diagram for the same. The data sources can be through it can be any document, it can be your social websites, it can be mail, it can be data, it can be sensors. So, we will see there are various sources of data that we can have. It can be maybe any sensor, that is any device that is giving us the data, that is log file or e-commerce transactions or social networks or GIS or GPS. All these can be the various sources of data. But before coming to this, let me just discuss more on these data pipeline. There can be various sources of data that are collected over here. Yeah, there can be various sources of data. Through these sources of data, we collect data collection and ingestion is there. Within this also there is a publisher and subscriber architecture, a small part of it. Then we have your data storage layer having various products, S3, HDFS, GlusterFS, they are used for data storage. Then for data processing, we have batch processing, real time processing or hybrid processing, both of them, like I was talking about Lambda architecture and Kappa architecture. So, if we talk about Lambda architecture, it is supporting both real and batch processing. Then we have data query. For that we have SQL, Spark, Hive. Then analytics engine, that is for statistical analysis, sentiment analysis, predictive modeling, whatever we want to do with the data, whatever analysis we want to do with the data, the text analysis and so on. And finally, the data visualization layer, that gives us the idea or that gives us the basic whatever analysis has been done, that is being presented in the visualization layer. It is through the visualization that we are able to understand the basics, what is happening within the data. So, the end result is you can get a recommendation engine, or you can get an intelligent agent, and these are all done with certain tools. There are n number of tools for data visualization. Tableau is one of the most commonly used tools. So, we will see all these layers in more detail in the upcoming slides. So, let me start with the data source. So, what all can be the data sources? It can be various log files, GIS, GPS, then social network sites, e-commerce transactions, whatever is happening on the net, that all can be collected. Tracking the length of a web session, most IoT data is well suited to data streaming. Things like traffic sensors, health sensors, transaction logs and activity logs are all good candidate for data streaming. So, this is to start with was data sources, and then there was ingestion and collection, storage and all those phases were there. So, let us see what is there in data ingestion layer. This layer is the first step of for the data coming from variable sources to start its journey. Data here is prioritized and categorized, which makes data flow smooth in a smoothly in a further layers. The big data ingestion involves connecting to various data sources, extracting data and detecting the changed data. And what are the commercial products available for this is Apache Flume and Niffy. They are the most common big data products, Apache Flume and Apache Niffy. And then we have data collection layer, that is talking about Apache Kafka architecture that I have talked about. It is basically a collection layer having this is the Kafka architecture I was talking about. So, earlier traditional model was not having this broker architecture, it was having directly the producer and the consumer, and each producer used to get connected to individual consumer. But with a Kafka architecture, there is a common broker architecture. This is a 3-layer architecture. So, where are we? We are on to the second level where we are trying to collect data. So, data collection layer consists of it is the commercial product available for data collection is Apache Kafka. And what is the architecture of Apache Kafka that I want to zoom into. So, Apache Kafka is made up of broadly of 3 layers, and these 3 layers are your producer, the broker and the consumer. Why we need to discuss architecture? This is a new architecture, because earlier we had architecture that was not having the broker in between, in the sense every producer had to communicate with the consumer individually with their own messages, with their own messages and with their own topics. So, but with the upcoming Kafka architecture, there is a 3-layer architecture wherein there is a producer, set of producers, they are sharing their content with the consumer, and there are topics involved. So, it is producer are putting their topics into the broker, and the broker through the broker consumer is taking the topics. So, this is the common area of sharing the topics between producer and consumer. So, if some message has to be pushed in, the producer pushes those messages to the this Kafka cluster or called broker, and it is pulled up by individual customer from here after registration. So, this is the detail of Kafka architecture. This is similar to this. There are publishers, n number of publishers. Instead of this was the traditional way of communication between the client and the server. Through this, individual request was being sent from client to the server, and individual response was being given from server to the client. This was an old architecture, client server architecture. Opposite to this, we have publisher subscriber architecture in Kafka. That is talking about n number of publishers, n number of subscribers, and they are all publishing and subscribing their content through the common dispatch service that is available. This is the detail about it, publisher and subscriber. Publisher subscriber messaging or PubSub messaging is a form of asynchronous service to service communication used in serviceless and microservice architectures. In a publisher and subscriber model, any message published to a topic is immediately received by all of the subscribers to the topic, as opposite to the previous architecture, which was not available. Each message was not available for all the clients. Now, in this shared architecture, this publisher, whatever is being published is being available to all the subscribers. This is the next layer, the data storage layer. It becomes challenge when the size of the data you are dealing with becomes large. Several possible solutions are available: Hadoop HDFS, Amazon S3 clusters. These are the basic storage facilities available. Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon S3, these are the storage facility available, the commercial products available for storage. Then there can be various products available for data processing, and that can be Scoop, Spark, Flink. These are for data processing, wherein you want to either you may use it for classification. Then finally, they can be query through SQL, HiveQL. These are the commercial product available for query layer. This is a layer where active analytics processing takes place. Here the primary focus is to gather data values so that they are made to be more helpful for the next layer. Finally, the data visualization layer. So, this is the last layer available for handling data streaming data in fact. So, what are the commercial products available for data visualization? Tableau is very common, Kibana, React.js, these are the various products which are used for data visualization. So, visualization or presentation tier, probably the most prestigious tier, with the data pipeline user may feel the value of the data, because it is here in this layer that the people or the usage of the data is basically realized. We need something that will grab people's attention, pull them into and make your findings well understood. So, these are various layers of data processing. We will move with this data processing architecture further, talking about Lambda and Kappa architecture in the next class. Thank you.